Up next, Gregory Hebert, President and CEO of Kelsey Thomas Consulting, a management consulting firm. Stay tuned to find out why he is the #1 grant writer for mid-sized businesses, not only nationally, but internationally. Hi, I'm Dr. Nancy, your medical celebrity doctor, and this is Dr. Nancy Knows, the talk show that brings awareness, inspiration, and hope to many communities globally, bridging the gap of disparity, uniting our nation. We do that not only through my 25 years of medical practice, but through individuals that are experts in their field of industry that are coming on the show telling us how they are impacting their circle of influence. And every once in a while, we'll have a celebrity. Be sure to tune in on NGC Network, the network that supports alignment of all things wellness. This is a special edition. Dr. Nancy Knows is on location. We are here today with Gregory Hebert, and we're going to talk about his consulting firm and our collaboration and upcoming initiatives for the new year. Gregory, it is so nice to have you here today.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. Thank you.
So listen, tell the viewers and listeners what makes you the #1 grant writer for mid-size businesses nationwide and international. Tell us how you got your start.
It's something we've been working on for quite some time, about 7 years. I have a background in business and law. Maybe we'll talk about that later. And it's something that we've worked on generically through, started with referrals and connections, and it's grown simply from there, from a Phoenix-based firm to a national firm to an international firm.
Awesome. So yeah, let's talk about your background and your education. You are a graduate from Pepperdine University in law. And how did that transition into Kelsey Thomas Consulting?
Well, I have went to 2 universities in undergraduate, and then as you mentioned, I went to law school, Pepperdine University School of Law, also have an MBA. And with that background, it took me into business instantly as an Office of General Counsel for many small businesses, basically in Southern California, then migrating to consulting with Deloitte, one of the world's largest consulting firms, and then got in, worked with Honeywell as their Office of General Counsel, and from that migrated to our own consulting firm, Kelsey Thomas Consulting, helping small businesses and nonprofits.
Very great. Okay, what would be an ideal client of yours? If individuals were out there saying, okay, wow, I like what he's doing, what types of services in addition to grants?
For clients, literally any small business is a great client. Any business that is looking especially for any sort of funding or management consulting advice and services, but mainly funding, any small business. With a special note for those businesses who may have a woman owner or a minority-based owner or a veteran owner or a Hispanic owner or LGBTQ+. We can help those firms even more.
Yeah. Tell me about it, because, you know, we've met and we began to collaborate and bring you on as a consulting firm to assist with grants and writing. And I've been extremely impressed with your services, your team, in the way that you operate so expeditiously, and the transparency in what you do.
Well, thank you. Yes, when we bring on a client or when we're speaking to clients or even when we're meeting any business, we try to be exceedingly nice and thorough at the same time in understanding the personality of the firm or the company, its founders, why did they get into business, and then what are their needs in forms, as far as how they want to grow their business. And at the end of the day, it always turns on funding. But we are exceedingly thorough. We do have 18 staff members who are all highly educated, and we work together. We try to work together in a collaborative basis to truly understand our clients' needs.
Well, I can tell you that with the idea of writing or for grants, the task at hand can be quite daunting, and there's a lot that goes into it. I do highly recommend that you hire on a service that specializes in grant writing, because it can be extremely difficult.
That's true. Many businesses start off trying to write, and nonprofits, by the way, start off trying to write their own grants, and I highly encourage that. For those who want to do more or want to do them, I will say, a little better or more professionally, then they may start to look at others to help them do that. In grant writing, it's not only it's understanding the business, but it's also understanding the other side, the founders who are going to be providing the funding. And you need to know that side of the coin as well to match up correctly and select those. And that's where a grant writing service comes in.
What sets your organization apart from all the others? What makes you different?
Yes, all the others, grant writers, and it's a very simple term, grant writer, will write the grant for a business who has to find it and give it to them, and they will write that for them. And it's a great service because usually and almost always they're very good writers. And that's obviously an important element in that. However, there is more. One, we believe, our firm believes that a business who gets involved in grant writing should do them repeatedly, because this is cash funding for them that is an opportunity for them that comes from no other place. But in that process is a careful selection of the grant places to write to, and then obviously the writing. And oftentimes there's a give and take between, in the process of getting to writing the grant, there's a give and take that happens you have to have a dialogue with the grantor. That is going to consume quite a bit of time for a business owner or their staff to accomplish that. Again, that's where we come into play. With our firm, we can provide actually 18 people to do this, we call that a bolt-on extension of the business that it has instantly by working with us.
Well, I have personally experienced it, and it's very streamlined, efficient, and almost automated, because it can be extremely time-consuming, and business owners, nonprofit organizations really don't have those expertise or the time to really spend making sure that everything is necessary and needed to be submitted.
In fact, we use some very sophisticated software tools, not only our own proprietary tools to find grants. Of course, we have a history with grantors that we keep in our files, but we also use several other software tools such as OverWorkDrive and Monday.com to manage our work both internally with our firm, and then to make sure that our client has full view of all that work. We say it's an open dashboard. But we do use every single modern technology tool.
Great, great. How does individuals get a hold of you if they were interested in taking your services?
Very simply, just to go to our website at kelseythomas.com. There's a contact sheet. There's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about us, and there's a contact sheet that they can find us as well. And there's also an opportunity to set a calendar date.
Awesome. Some of the questions that I initially had when I was looking for individuals to write grants is, should I choose my nonprofit over my for-profit? And you and I, your team and our network are actually going to be having grant writing workshops going into the new year. So really happy to acknowledge and announce that Kelsey Thomas Consulting Firm and NGC Network, Dr. Nancy's Enterprises, Business Manager Shasta Broadus is going to be overseeing these collaborative events coming up together. So grant writing workshop is going to be really interesting and very useful to answer some of those questions and myths that individuals have about grants.
We know about your enterprises and your business, and we are so pleased and so glad that you've asked us to be a part of that. Just one part of it to help grow your network and also to let people know about our services. We're just very pleased and we're very thankful to be a part of that.
Awesome. So again, some of our initiatives going into this upcoming year, 2023, the grant workshop, collaborating with your firm, as well as our Fourth Fridays that we usually have. We've got the Super Bowl and a number of events scheduled around that event too. And then the other things that we're doing is constantly growing the network and bringing awareness about small businesses and reciprocal and collaborative relationships that really is not the norm in terms of doing business. But I often say it's going to be the entrepreneurs that make a difference in this world, to change it, to get it right in the area and turn it around, because we do have a lot of concern about how businesses run these days, and working together and partnering, aligning with things and entities, organizations that help you fulfill your mission and vision.
It's a great comment, and we're so happy that you and your team have provided several opportunities, several events, several different options for businesses, to get involved. And about networking, what we love about your opportunities is the quality of the networking, an opportunity for business owners to meet a lot of other quality business owners and get to connect, and also be able to tell their story to others. And that's where you come in and provide that opportunity for others that we really don't see in other networking sorts of events or ways to do that. And we're very just thankful again to be a part of it.
Great. So, NGC Network, Broadcasting Network, is the online part of our networking. And then we have an offline network, and that's headed by Shasta Broadus Capital Stewardship. And she and I work and collaborate together to actually bring in businesses with ideologies and the concept of improving the community and building the kingdom. And there's so many things we add value to one another in those organizations moving forward. Just, for example, the interview process and all of the services that NGC offers for small businesses. And we often say small businesses need to, get in front of their business and work it, and not always just be behind the business aspect of it all. So the power of an interview, marketing and branding, is what NGC Media Broadcasting Network is really keying in on.
I think that's unique about NGC, with the opportunity to let businesses connect with you in what I consider to be the all-important aspect of media. All forms of media, whether it's a video or an interview like this, or being on Instagram, that is a reach that a business can utilize NGC services to expand their network. However, and also in addition to that, always to be provide the availability to have in-person networking events as well. So you can do both. And I highly recommend that businesses consider both the NGC media elements, and then also the in-person events as well.
Absolutely. With my nonprofit, one of those arms, it's Family Matters Healthcare Foundation. And one of the latest projects as it relates to the nonprofit is offering and working with communities to allow affordable housing for homeless veterans, for individuals that need credit repair from a business standpoint and or personal standpoint. It's all about providing jobs in the community, housing, building the community is, Family Matters Healthcare Foundation. And we are continuing to do that and move forward under the auspices of Dr. Nancy's Enterprises. And
I think you've set the example and in many ways a standard for other businesses. I highly recommend that businesses emulate those things, the outreach that you give back. It's about giving back to the community. When one gives back to the community, I just predict that the community will give back to the business. And it's part and parcel of doing that modernly. I think it's exceedingly important. You see big businesses now, I think they're actually following, for example, your lead in giving back. They're noticing the impact and the positive energy that's created when, for example, your nonprofits engage with the community and bring some of the profits or revenue back to the community. The community will respond very positively back to the business. I highly recommend other businesses connect with you and learn about that model.
Absolutely. The other thing I'm just super grateful for is to have been connected with you, to take on your services, to have access to grants, and to be able, you're talking about giving back through the grants. And some of those monies go back into my nonprofit. I have this philanthropic passion of mine to offer some of those services that otherwise individuals in the community wouldn't be able to have access to. And the other nonprofit that I have is Dr. Nancy's Medical Training Academy. my passion about CPR, and the medical practice, Dr. Nancy's Integrative Medicine, holistic health and wellness, alternative treatment modalities. Grant monies can filter back into those entities where I can offer scholarships and educational workshops. Giving back to the community is a high priority of mine.
And grantors echo back that that feeling, that giving back. Grantors are by themselves, for the most part, are foundations. They're philanthropists themselves. And when a business is applying for a grant, they may not specifically ask for that, but they are looking for businesses who will tell the grantor, hey, I'm giving back to my community, and here's the ways that I do that. Because now the grantor is saying, aha, I think I would love to bless this business with some funding, but I know in turn that business, if you will, is also sharing. And they're sharing with their community in the different forms that you've got. You have more than one nonprofit, which is highly unusual and is very super important for any business and any community to go that far. Again, another perfect example.
Again, as a enterprise and having access to grants and giving back, the idea that I have, as well as not only NGC media broadcasting through grants, expanding the awareness, equipment, providing jobs, doing more in the community, but also on our offline network as well, and our small business and entrepreneurs, when they join our network, they can have access to grants as well.
That's an important feature. Again, you've got both I think the beautiful design that you have, both the online approach, the networking approach, media approach. Those, to me, those three create the three strong pillars for strengthening small businesses and growing your business. It's more difficult to do without those. And when you have the opportunities that you provide, it makes it very simple and very easy for a business to blend in and join in and grow their business. Yeah.
Gregory, one last question regarding grants, and it's a big myth out there. A lot of people really have this number one burning question. We'll just answer one question and then we'll, stay tuned for the grant workshop events that'll be coming out as well. Is for grants, how long does it take to apply for a grant and have a decision whether you're awarded it or not? That's a number one question.
That is a good question. We hear that a lot. And we hear a lot, I heard it takes a year for you to get back. No, it takes about 6 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks, depending on the grantor, so you can hear back on whether they're going to fund the particular grant applications that you have or not. That's a normal average.
That's an excellent question. So Gregory, it was so nice to have you on the show. I look forward to all of our interactions in the coming future. And again, how does individuals get a hold of you if they are interested in accessing your services?
Thank you. It's very easy. Google or just go online at kelseythomasconsulting.com, and there's a contact sheet there, and again, an opportunity to even set a meeting if you'd like to do that.
Join the #1 small business network for upcoming opportunities, campaigns, and projects. Remember, it's not only what Dr. Nancy knows, but it's who she knows. We'll see you next year. NGC Network, the network that supports alignment of all things wellness.